Okay, we're here on the barbecue again today. We're going to show you how we do this start to finish stuff with the smoker. We're going to be using today is some hickory. We're going to be using some hickory, and as you see, they're chunks. And sometimes I use a hatchet and I'll cut these up smaller, as you'll see here in a moment. Sometimes the smaller ones in there I just pick out. Sometimes I'll just take something like this, put them on a block of wood on the ground, and I'll cut that like that, split them smaller. So what we got is some regular old-fashioned newspaper. Take single sheets, crumble them up like so, and we're going to put them under here. That's 3 sheets. 4, 5, 6. And if you can see that, they're in there pretty tight. Now you lay your wood in. Like so. Try to keep them so they're all flat, so to speak. Like that. And then you want to light this. We're going to set this here and wait. You can watch how that lights that wood up. No lighter fluid. Don't use lighter fluid or charcoal starter or nothing. It ruins the flavor. You put that in your grill once and you'll never get rid of it. You might as well take it to the junkyard and buy a new one. It's the only way you're getting that flavor out of your grill. What it does is, you can see the flame, it pulls the air in here. It's kind of almost like a little rocket stove, which we've used it for that already. Just going around with the lighter to each hole and lighting the paper in front of the holes like I did here. It's just cranking pretty good now. Now if you look here, That's how it lights without petroleum products. Nice, huh? Careful, I'll cook my camera. You see here, we're on the same barbecue grill we use. We're just using it for something to hold the smoke in. It's fireproof. See how that's cooking up already? This is without editing too. Something else I might want to add, I have an oak tree here, the kind that bears acorns on my property, and I take limbs that are dry and fall off of that. They're about maybe the size of a broom handle or so, and I cut them up into chunks, and I've smoked stuff with that oak already. It comes out very well. You can see how you could use that for a rocket stove. That's just the wood burning now. What I want to do is get that wood to stop burning now, believe it or not, because I don't want fire, I want smoke. And what we're going to do is dump it in this pan. Probably goes without saying, but don't set this anywhere until it cools off. It's not gonna, doesn't burn. This we're gonna get rid of. Let that burn up. Get rid of these ashes. If you keep them separated, you can shake them. A pair of good metal tongs, and you can put them out. Now, as you see here, they're all out. They're just smoldering, and look at all that nice white smoke. That's what you want. So now we're going to get that pork. Now these are what you call country ribs, and this is a bone, but after they're smoked I'm going to remove the bone and I'm going to slice this up for bacon on my deli slicer, but you could do it with a nice sharp knife. We'll probably show you both ways. Now remember, we're cold smoking. The food will be raw. We're just trying to do a little bit of a curing process, basically, and get that flavor in there to smoke. We soak this in the saltwater brine for about 20 hours in the refrigerator. Now we're just going to close the lid and wait a while. What I like to try to do is leave space for the air to circulate the smoke through. Just a sign that you don't want a lot of heat. The white flakes there, that's frost. Can you see that? Can you see the smoke coming off of there? Out of the vents in the back of the barbecue. It's coming around the glass. You see that? It's trying to seep out everywhere. Coming out of the hole on the other end. That's what you want. And like I said, you might have to light up some more wood later and start the fire up again. It may burn out, but this should be good for a few hours. Sometimes they'll start to go out. You got to blow on them a little bit too to create a little more air, and then it'll pick up the smoke again. But I'm going to go open it just so you can see what's actually trapped inside. And that's where your flavor is going to come from. They're going to get a yellowish brown or like a mahogany brown color to them when they're done. And that's not going to be brown from the heat. That's going to be brown from the smoke penetrating the meat. So we'll check back here later. Okay, as you can see, we have no smoke. This is what I was saying, where you have to keep an eye on it. Our wood's pretty much spent, if you can see that. We just got some hot coals. So now what I'm going to do is a couple little pieces off the edges on here. You can always split more like this off of a big piece, but these are just some loose ones I found lying in the bag. Pull the little splinters off. It's like almost if you're trying to start a fire. Push them on the coals good. I'm going to take a big piece like this and lay it on top. And that'll pick up some steam more, get a little more smoke going. But can you see that color on the fat here? And it's turning brown. It was right nice and white. That's the smoke that you want to get into that. And all that fat in the meat will get all brown. The meat will get a little brown on it. And just so you can see, that's the piece that's furthest from the smoke. And it's got that brown coming in on it already. And that's after about an hour. It's only about an hour of smoking so far. Only after about an hour of smoking so far. Maybe another little thinner piece too. I was blowing on it, I was getting a little flame in here. I tried to do it again, but I would stop because I wanted you to see this. And the reason is you know, a little bit of fire starting technique, but it's going to build that up and get a little char on this wood that we just added, so it helps smoke better. You see that? But now when you shut the lid, you don't want no fire. That's just to get her charred up. Speed up the charring process to get some smoke rolling here. Now if you get to the point where you think it's been burning enough and you want the flame to go out, you just blow on it quick. Or shake them with the tongs like I showed you so it gets smoky. Usually they go out themselves though for now. Ashes on the phone. If you get ashes on your meat you're smoking, don't worry about it. You just give it a quick rinse under the kitchen sink and that'll come right off. I'll be right back. I want to show you another trick I got. I got one of these propane torches, and I'll use this to juice up and start the wood sometimes too. Just crack the gas a little bit, give her a little light, and you can see the flame. Camera. The wood's black already, see it? See this one here? Watch it turn black and start smoking. Then blow it out. You can see the smoke we got going now. Just one more tool helps. Incidentally, if you have home surveillance cameras, such as I do, around the property and the house. It's pretty cold out yet today, but I can sit in the warmth of my house by the fire and look on the TV. I have surveillance cameras. I can watch the smoke, and then when it quits, I come back out while I'm doing something else. So we're going to leave this again. That's after about an hour. We'll restoke the fire, and we'll come back later and check it. Smoke is slowing down. It's still smoking, but we're going to check on it. I think it might have been a half an hour, 45 minutes since we were last out here. It's burning okay. It's like having another child around. You got to give it a little adult supervision. That's all. Just needed a little blow job to get it going again. We'll check back later. We're going up, approaching hour 2 at this point. Come out for a check here. Come out here for a check on our smoker. It's been about 4 hours since we started this. Know if you can see how they're all brown. I flipped them, but I didn't get it on video because I had battery failure. I forgot to check it, but let's take a look. That was the first side that we had up for about 2 hours, 3 hours, and then we turned them, and that's what you got now. These are the little ones we took off the bone because the bone wasn't cut, remember? I'm just going to rotate them a little bit. The ones on the far right here do get a little more heat, we only got so much space under this lid, so I'm just rotating them so they don't cook. Put them on the cooler side. And put the ones that were on the left over on the right now. Incidentally, when you do take these smoked bones off of here, you have a dog that eats bones. Mine gets sick, I can't give them to him, but they love that smoke. That's what our log looks like, our fire. I'm just going to turn this. Put a bare spot that wasn't burned yet on the bottom. This other one's burning to the point it's too hot, I can't touch it in the back. I'm going to add another small piece, just so that starts going before these burn up. I guess a lot of it is how you like to get it lit, but you really don't want a big fire. You want smoke. But if it goes out on you, don't worry. Just get this back out, put some newspaper under, put them in there, and you know how that works. We showed you. And then you can get them started again that way too if it goes out. Just be patient. You'll get it. You don't do this when you got to go anywhere. When you're lazy Saturday or Sunday hanging out at home. When you got time, you're taking that lazy day off, you want something to do. You like to drink beer, sit back, drink a few beers. Keep an eye on the fire. It's a little warm outside now. It's warming up to about 50 here. Today is the first day of spring. You don't have to have a propane torch and use it, but you see how convenient it is. Just got to use what you like. or what you have and what's convenient. But you definitely do not need to buy one of them $500 smokers. I already spent $400 on this grill. It works beautiful. And it's smoking here on the racks. Oh my God, does that add flavor to your burger when you cook it in here after you've been using this as a smoker. Another tip is, I've taken a piece of this wood already and I've just sat it on my grill over this burner, and I've turned that burner on and I've got that burning. I've turned the burner off and then taken it and put it into here. Is another tip or trick you can use. One quick blow and I put it out. Alright, this has been about 6 hours now with our bacon raw cooking. And I got distracted. I got pulled away. And as you can see, the fire caught fire, got too hot on us. And it cooked a little bit, but it's fine. No sweat. It just got roasted a little bit in the process. It'll still be good for bacon. So we're going to go ahead and take this off now, let it cool, and then slice it up for bacon. Okay, I cut the bones off. I should have filmed it, but I forgot. I just took a sharp paring knife and went down around it and took the bone out. Here's what we have. Plate full. Looks like this for the most part. One way you can do this is sharp knife. It's going to be hard to hold it up like this, keeping your fingers out of the way, of course. And just take thin slices. Like that, see? Another way is lay it down like this. Gotta hold the knife flat. You can't cut like this or like this. You gotta flat, and not like this. This way. Nice gentle sawing motion with light pressure, keeping your fingers out of the way. And take off some thin slices. It's a little on the thicker side. Or, as you've been looking at in the background there, you're fortunate enough to have a slicer like I bought. This is sold on the internet from a company called Webstaurant. Combination of web and restaurant, Webstaurant. And I'll look for the link if you're interested where I bought this. I think this machine is like 300 bucks, brand new. That's it. And we're going to set the thickness at 2.5 and see how that looks. Nice thin slices. You get to the end, it doesn't want to slice anymore to the last little bit. It's going to leave ends. So I just put the next piece on to hold it in position. And I turn the thickness up to 3, not 2.5 anymore. It's on 3. Just using these for something to push against so I can slice the last bit up. Look at that. Don't throw none of this away. Save all this. Fry that up and put that in your salad. Like coarse bacon bits. You can cut it smaller if you'd like. The slicer was clean, spotless, and sanitized when we started. There's no reason to waste anything. That's all bacon bits from my salad. Okay, now we're going to fry up some of this bacon. Fry a couple slices. That's the thicker one I cut with the knife. There's a couple thinner pieces cut on the deli slicer. Now normally this would be more pink, not white, but like I said, it got away from me, the smoker did, and actually cooked it out there some, so that's the downfall about that. But it's still good meat to eat. Very excellent. I hope you do this and you try it. Now this is a lot leaner than regular bacon. This was made out of pork, country style ribs that were deboned. So a couple drops of oil, olive oil, whatever you like, coconut. I'm using grapeseed oil today. We'll give that a fry for a few minutes. I should have put pepper on it before we smoked it, but I'm going to put some on now. Ready? And there you have it. Now you have Big Jim Country Boy's country recipe for that bacon.